Good morning, everyone. This is Group 11. Scholars define prehistory as events that occurred before the existence of written records in a given culture or society. The cave paintings or rock paintings, Buni culture or pottery culture, and some other major meaningful sculptures were also present there. As early as 10,000 years ago, cave paintings generally considered to have a symbolic or religious function. In Buni tradition, the potteries were used to store food and used for cooking, and they were the major attraction of the artistic skills as well. Sculptures like Venus of Willendorf represents a mother of goddess symbol, a good luck totem, and majorly a fertility figure. As in the prehistoric period, the Homo sapiens were not fully anatomically developed, the art forms or sculptures were not fully developed as well. However, no matter how much distorted or not so finished paintings there were, there can be seen a balance in each of them. There is a presentation of human figures. If there are small figures, then all the figures are small. If the figure is created in the larger area and each part of the figure is following to that ratio and balance in the represented figure of cattle-like animal, the balance of color can be seen as well. The figure is of rust shade and the brown background is complementing it as well. These comes under the principle of designs. The rock art of cave painting generally have the basic earthy colors like rust red, brown, grey or black going on. The dots can be witnessed as well in the portrayal of headdresses in the cave paintings. In the paddling method, a lump of clay was pounded into the shape by holding the clay against a large stone. Techniques for rock arts were engraving, pecking, and scraping. These comes under the material aspect. Thank you.
At first, all of these artworks that are being presented used to exist in different countries of Southeast Asia, but majorly in Thailand, Myanmar, and Cambodia as well in 6th century. In these artworks, there is one thing in common, though they exist in different countries. That is, there is no such use of any bright colors, maybe because practitioners at that time might have limited or much less amount of art supplies as compared to today's world. Another thing which is in common in all of these artworks is that they all have same theme in common, which is religion or embracing religion. All of these artworks depicts Buddha, Bodhisattva, and other entities. These artworks were practiced on a large scale to depict teaching of Buddha and also to advertise the religion. So more and more people could accept it. And so the religious theme is maintained throughout. So what I could make out from these creative cave practices is that thinking pattern of these practitioners was derived quite by religion itself. Now, talking about the monuments and architecture at that time, the practitioner may have seemed to adopt a stupa style of architecture throughout. In other words, the most of the monuments I came across have a conical structure in common, regardless of what time period they existed. As we can clearly observe in the visuals, which shows the monument located in Thailand, Myanmar, and Cambodia, and so on, having an identical shape. The hemispherical or conical form of the stupa appears to have derived from pre-Buddhist burial mounds in India, and also resembles the bell which is present in Hindu temples. Stupa-like architecture might have been so powerful at that time because Buddhism in 6th century was spreading across the Southeast Asian region at a high pace. And again, the common theme here is religion or Buddhism.
Pottery. The term pottery includes glazed, unglazed, high and low firewares. There existed two types of pottery at that time, Banchiang and Ban Prasad pottery. They both were quite different from each other, as Ban Prasad pottery used to have everted rims, narrow necks, and extremely flared mouth with round body, and were used for daily lives with no rituals attached. Whereas Banchiang pottery seemed like ordinary red decorated jars, which were often placed in burial and graves. And as you know, pottery is also connected to ceramics. Ceramics has been an important medium of artistic expressions in mainland Southeast Asia. Although influenced by Chinese ceramics, Southeastern ceramics have their own distinctive styles and forms. All of these have a very important thing in common, that these are handmade. This shows that in early ages, people used to make such things without any use of technology. This can be seen as there is no symmetry and smoothness. All of these have carvings on it. This uniqueness about the carving are that all objects have the same geometrical prints on it. Every object has lines, squares, spirals, etc. on it. Now, Bronze Age and Iron Age. Bronze Age was the third phase in the development of material culture, but this was the first period in which metals were used. Dongson culture is a name given to a loose confederation of societies who lived in northern Vietnam, likely between 500 BC to 200 AD. Some of the important examples are bronze drums, armors, bowls, fishhooks, bronze strings, axes, etc. Bronze Age led to Iron Age, which was the fourth period, and hence iron objects came in handy. Bronze and Iron Age culture overlapped in some areas. A notable characteristic of the people of this era is that they buried their dead together with decorative ceramics with common household objects such as bowls and spoons.
The connection of India and China began with Malaysia during the early centuries. About the beginning of the Common Era, Indian merchants may have settled there, bringing Brahmins and Buddhist monks with them. In the early centuries of the first millennium, the people of the Malay adopted the Indian religion of Hinduism and Buddhism, religion which had a major effect on the language and culture of those living in Malaysia. The Sanskrit writing system was used as early as the 4th century. From at least 200 BC, Chinese merchants sailed as far as south the Straits of Malaysia and met and traded with both Indonesian people and merchants from across the Indian subcontinent. Feeder points and trading centers grew up on coasts along these trading routes, and over time, the interaction facilitated by the emergence of entrepots left a considerable mark on the culture heritage of the region. Small Malay kingdoms appeared in the 2nd or 3rd century CE, a time where Indian traders and priests began traveling the maritime routes, bringing with them Indian concept of religion, government, and the arts.
Hi everyone. I hope you all aren't feeling sleepy with all the history, but bear with me. This is the last bit of our presentation. I'll start off by telling you all about the religion part. You all must be knowing by now how much prominent Buddhism is in Southeast Asian countries, but our research covers how it spread slowly in those countries. It all started with Theravada Buddhism. Theravada Buddhism, which is also called the School of the Elders, is considered the oldest and claims to maintain Buddha's original vision and teachings. It was the first religion which was majorly found in Southeast Asian countries. Then comes Mahayana Buddhism, which is also called the Great Vehicle, is said to have split off from Theravada in the belief that it was too self centered and had lost the true vision. This school also claims it holds to the Buddha's original teachings. But actually, the two schools were established around the same time, just with different focus. Then comes Vajrayana Buddhism, which is called the Way of the Diamond, which was developed largely in Tibet in response to what perceived as too many rules in Mahayana Buddhism and emphasized living in the Buddhist walk naturally, without regard to ideas of what one was supposed to do, and so it too claims to be the most authentic. Now I'll move on to the music and dance part. Music and dance. Huh, finally something which seems interesting. Music and dance are integral to most dramatic forms of Burmans. These people are accompanied by music of the Sain Wang with an edge, a percussive instrument. The instrument includes a circle of 21 tuned drums called Patwaing, a circle of small horizontally suspended tuned gongs known as Kiwang. These instruments are supported melodically by other gongs and drums, while a wooden block and a pair of cymbals set the tempo, and reinforce the musical structure. Wow, just imagine a modern rock star trying to play such instrument. Wait, why does he look familiar? Dance styles that are accompanied by sangwa are derived in part and indirectly from southern India. Much of the Burmese dance tradition was adapted from the styles of Thailand and other Indianized states of Southeast Asia. So that was about it for our presentation. I hope we all learned something new today and had fun. Thanks.